I want to say like my On the Brink album did a couple thousand units, and it was just like I didn't have distribution for it. We had digital distribution as far as just making sure it was on iTunes and stuff, but it didn't have any crazy campaign behind it or any kind of publicity. You know, we didn't have a publicist at all. We didn't have any kind of campaign behind it at all. But we went on the road. You know, I did kind of tour after tour, and we took the CD on the road, and it sold way more physical copies than I thought it was going to, because I didn't realize, like, there's a lot of underground fans that still want the physical CDs. Like, I thought it was such a lost thing. I'm like, oh, we're gonna order all these like physical copies, we're gonna go on the road and no one's gonna buy any because they're gonna be like, oh, I just download it. But they want that. They want you to sign it. They want to be able to hold it. And it was like really refreshing to see that people still want physical CDs. That's one of the good things about being independent and in the underground, because I think it's a little more lost in the mainstream. I think people buying physical CDs is lost. The next step for me is really expanding the team, because it's going to get to the point where there's just too much on each of our plates. Like, each of us wear so many different hats. My producer's my tour manager. She's DJing my set. Like, you know, I have my boy Supreme on the road with me too, who's featured in one of my songs, and he's also doing security, he's helping drive. So it's like we do everything, and it's going to become where it's at the point where we need to bring more and more people on to help keep up with the growing fan base and the growing opportunities and the bigger tours, because we're just going to plateau if we don't do what we can and change what we can to adapt to getting bigger. Because even now, like, there's people ordering my CDs at home and stuff, so I need someone sending that stuff out. Like, just all the little things you don't even think about because we're on the road. Like, I need someone back at the HQ sending out all the online orders we get. You know, I have someone answering my emails right now. Her name's Gabby. She's like my personal assistant. She's answering all my emails. She does all my bookings. So she wears many hats, and she's not really an agent. She's just really my assistant answering my emails, and she's secured a lot of shows for me too. So it's like everyone just kind of steps up and does what they have to do in order to make it, because we're all on the same page. We all have the same goal in mind. So it's no fighting with each other. It's like us versus everything else, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna continue to tour. I'm releasing a new record called Break the Frame. I released a single for it right at the beginning of the tour. I have new videos coming out. So it's to continue making higher and higher quality stuff, like more music videos, getting on bigger tours, continue to release records. And maybe in the future, I would sign to a label. I'm open to it. I've had label offers before, and that's a big misconception to the public. Like, people think that if someone like me is independent, they think, oh, she's just never been offered a record deal. That's not true. I've been offered a record deal. It means I've never accepted a record deal. If I got an offer that I really felt was in my best interest, and because it's like a marriage, it's very easy to say I do, but very hard to get out of. So if I found something that worked for me, I would be open to signing with a label. But as of right now, I haven't found one that you know I am interested in, as far as that has approached me. There's definitely labels I'm interested in, but we'll see if they say anything. I'm not going to say something first. I'm going to let them hit me up. I want them to want me. So we're getting to that point. We're getting the interest now. I mean, we might be eating some Chef Boyardee and ramen noodles out the tour van, but we're still able to pay our bills and stuff, which sometimes, like, in this industry, it's feast or famine, you know? Like, sometimes we're, like, just able to pay it, and then some days we're like, yeah, we're rich, we're making it. And then, like, the next month, we just get knocked right back down. We're like, damn it. Like, we thought we were on. This is the come up. But yeah, we're able to live off of it. Most people can't say that. I've only been touring since 2013, and to me that's when the career really kicked off, because that's when I was really actually living off of it. I think my first like EP came out in like 2008. It was just like something I recorded myself in my basement kind of thing. So like so I've had like free music and stuff coming out. My first actual release was On the Brink, which was the first thing I ever sold music wise, and that was last year. So that gives you like an idea. Like, I was one of those few artists that actually I made sure I really kind of was comfortable with my craft before I put it out for sale. Like, I worked on myself and I rapped, and when I was rapping in my basement and stuff, like, there's plenty of artists that they'll throw anything together, it'll have the wackest graphics and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna sell this shit, like it's their first record. It's like, why should anyone want to buy your record when they don't know you yet? So I wanted to make sure I was known first, so I put out all my stuff for free. I was just like free download, free download. Like I was making digital or actual physical copies and handing them out at shows. I was performing a lot of free shows. I was doing a lot of things for free to build up my fan base instead of right away being like, no, I'm getting paid, like, fuck you, pay me. Like, no, I wasn't like that right away, because I was like, I need to build my fan base, and then I can be choosy, then I can turn stuff down, then I can, you know, demand more. So I built up my worth before I demanded anything. So last year was my first record that I ever dropped for sale. I had no idea what to expect, having never ever dropped a record for sale before, and it did well for having no distribution. It wasn't in stores. We sold several thousand units. It's just gonna go higher, and that's with no budget and no publicist. So imagine if it actually had some sort of campaign behind it, rather than like, hey, Facebook, like I just dropped a record. If it had really a campaign, I can't even imagine. Like I think the numbers would be great, and I want to prove it for the ladies for sure, because girls haven't had a track record of being able to sell as much as the guys, unfortunately. Even if like they're like the biggest pops or like the biggest stars, like Missy Elliott and stuff, like they sell a lot, but it's still under like the big guys in the game. So it's like we're gonna step up. We'll make our mark.
I am the psychiatrist, because my fans said my psycho shit saved them. What? Suicide letters saved you from killing yourself?
So I guess the guy took the guy to get some weed, but he didn't fucking bring him back. They say he kidnapped him. So they held him at gunpoint.
There's something in dark ideas and things that scare people and things that make people uncomfortable. I relish in, and I like extreme things. I like things that remove people from their complacent roots.
The girl that doesn't talk about sex sent me the most sexual song ever, and he was like, well, get on it. And I was like, do you know what this is about? And then he's like, well, you're dope. You could do it.